Many of you know by now about Dowling Road in Anchorage, Alaska. It kind of goes through the central part, yeah. It used to be just a two-lane road and it didn't look as decent. But now it actually looks a lot better with its new median and such and four lanes. And plus, it even goes all the way to Elmore Street. It starts basically at the east end of Elmore Street now. It goes through a lot better. And then it it's practically an exit or an interchange there at at Seward Highway, and so and they've even made changes to Seward Highway. They've widened it further down, and it's actually even better. And here they've even decided to kind of make it go all the way across and not be a part of Potter Road anymore. And so Potter Road practically just makes its turn right there by Franklin Avenue. And so then basically you carry on straight. So it will actually make an intersection there at C Street, and it'll be a lot easier to get through. And then over here in this area is where it'll eventually connect to Arctic Boulevard. Currently, Arctic Boulevard does go across the tracks, but the crossing isn't really all that safe, and even though it's got overhead landmarks and crossing gates to help warn you about the train coming through, it's really not the best because sometimes that comes on rather suddenly right near where you are and it'll scare you. And I don't know, you got to make sure you have a good reaction time and a good state of tune if you're there. That's the one that should be going over all the train yard, because there's a lot of traffic there and trains usually do go in and out of their businesses in the area. That's how they get there. But but with Dowling Road coming through, it'll have an absolute reason of going over the tracks then. This it probably doesn't look all that practical to have an intersection up on the bridge, but it's safer and it doesn't actually have a chance of ending up in the train yard anymore. And it won't be as hard to get in these businesses either. I mean, the the frontage road that goes down this way actually leads over to Raspberry Road near the seafood plant where they go to make all these tasty things for everybody. And then it continues west over by Chugach Power, as you see. This is like the Minnesota street frontage road that you would see there that goes by Chugach Power. If Dowling Road does happen to go through, it'll go right over Minnesota Expressway, and you might very well get a view of the interchange right from where you are. That interchange supposedly would have had high bridges, but after they tested the soil before seeing what to do, it would have been too much work. And of course, there were always some places that had the right of way, so it had to be a partial clover leaf and not a full one like they'd planned originally. But I think everybody has at least one way of understanding, if not every way, and it makes it a lot easier because it's not as dangerous to try to get across anymore now that it's an interchange, and it's not too hard to handle anymore either. And this last picture is basically where Dowling Road will cancel out over by the park. As you can see, this one road of Northwood Street that would probably go through Connors Park, that may or may not work out. But whether or not it does, Dowling Road will stop there at Northwood Street, and if it does work out, it'll be right or left only at the end. But if it doesn't, it'll just turn right into Northwood Street. It'll make it a lot easier to make it where you're going. Yeah, and that's one thing that our money donations from from those silver yogurt container lids can do while we're and the process of neurophysiology backing up people's inability to learn, and so that they can succeed in school and become construction workers later on. Just helps us keep going. They can be called 10-year projects if you want, but they're called infinity year projects without enough construction workers to do the job. People have even had to give up, but lucky for you, we got plenty of silver yogurt container lids. We got gold tabs. We've got shot needle caps of of white and orange, and they're worth anywhere between $1,000 and $100. And we get just enough of them. What do you know? We eventually end up getting the money we need just to be able to do the work. Yeah, we just don't want you to say anything like you don't know anything about it. Greed is what that is, and it's not nice. It's just causing more chaos than it's worth to have to go through that.